As the media landscape shifts in the digital world, publishers are adapting their revenue strategies. In 2022, nearly 80% of publishing executives said subscriptions were their primary revenue priority for the year, according to the Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism. But how do you go about launching a reader revenue business? What are the different models that you can use? And what considerations should you take into account when making your benefits and pricing decisions? I'm Sarah Hartley from the Google News Initiative, and in this short video, we'll try to answer those questions to help you launch a successful subscriptions business for your news organization. The first step for many is figuring out what type of reader revenue model is right for your publication. Let's discuss some common scenarios we often see publishers experience. 1. If you offer a print subscription, you might earn more from a print subscriber than a digital subscriber. Combining digital access with print subscriptions can help transition your audience from print to digital. 2. A donations or contribution model might be better if you're a non-profit, independently owned, or reach an underserved audience. 3. If you rely on ad revenue but have a loyal returning audience, subscriptions can help you diversify your income streams. You can find precisely how loyal your audience is with our free-of-cost tool, News Consumer Insights. The tool takes your Google Analytics data and organizes it to make it easier to understand, whether you use the free-of-cost or paid version of Google Analytics. And here's another tip. You can estimate how much revenue you could earn from subscriptions or contributions with our Reader Revenue Estimating interactive exercise. Check out our video on this topic if you're interested. Although you can earn different types of reader revenue, such as subscriptions, contributions, or donations, in this video we'll focus mainly on subscriptions, especially recurring ones, as a viable launch revenue model. Understanding who will be willing to pay for your journalism, their price sensitivity, and their motivations will help you decide how to target your messaging and pricing to each group. According to the American Press Institute, there are 3 types of news subscribers. 1. Civically committed. 2. Thrifty transactors. 3. Elusive engagers. Let's dive deeper. Civically committed subscribers pay for multiple news sources. They're very loyal and highly willing to pay. Missions, initiatives, and organizations that reflect their personal values motivate them. They donate and volunteer to news organizations and other causes. Thrifty transactors subscribe to a few news sources, including one interest-based publication. They're loyal to a few and price sensitive. They need to feel like their purchase is of high value. They're motivated by relevance, utility, practical value, and news about their own interests. They might rely on a news source for its coverage of one topic. Finally, elusive engagers are the least loyal. Their loyalty doesn't translate to a willingness to pay. They're price sensitive and subscription averse. They often use free trials and promotions and are motivated by utility, viewing news as a nice to have. They're more comfortable with no strings attached transactions such as contributions or donations. These subscribers most likely come from search or social to your site. Now we've covered who's willing to subscribe, let's discuss how you can understand what content they'd be willing to pay for. Here's 2 best practices we've seen many publishers succeed with. 1. Ask your audience what they like and don't like through a survey. You could start by asking the following 3 questions. What they get from your news that they aren't getting from others. What topics or stories are most important to them. And finally, if there's news that they don't currently get that they'd be willing to pay for. 2. You can also learn a lot about your audience by looking closely at your analytics. For example, looking at which articles get the most engagement based on topics or categories, authors, format. Once you've identified what your audiences are and are not willing to pay for, you'll need to assess which type of subscription to use. News subscription models typically rely on paywalls, which limit access to articles by topic, number of articles, engagement, and more. Let's dive deeper in the 3 most common paywall models we see among publishers. An article limit is when a specific number of articles are free to read. The limit can be set as the same for everyone, or based on how often someone visits your site. A premium model is when some articles are free to read, while specific stories or topics require a subscription. And a hard paywall is when no articles are free and users need to subscribe to access any of them. So, how do you know which subscription model to choose? If your audience engages the most with certain topics or authors, consider a premium subscription for those topics. But consider a hard paywall if you target a specific audience, cover a niche subject, or your survey tells you your audience can't get the same news elsewhere. While your coverage is the primary reason your readers would convert, asking a cancel anytime flag can help boost signups. You can add benefits to your subscription to help incentivize more conversions. Testing out which of those benefits might appeal to your readers through a survey before picking them out can be wise. Okay, let's look at some examples of benefits you can offer in terms of content. Exclusive newsletters, training or educational materials, a digitized archive, early access to certain content, no ads, or an ad-light experience. You could also consider perks that offer access to the newsroom. For example, the opportunity for subscribers to be part of the conversation by hosting roundtables or encouraging story submissions and pitches. Access to chat or text with journalists or editors. The ability to comment on articles. Exclusive events and visits to the newsroom. Finally, you could offer discounts and merchandise benefits. Some popular ones we see are offering a discount on the print edition of the newspaper, deals on a broader set of goods and services, and branded merchandise. Once you decide which value-added benefits you'll offer, you can determine your pricing framework. The average cost of a news subscription in North America varies from $10 to $15 a month. In Europe, monthly fees vary significantly between countries, ranging from €2 to €41, with the UK at the higher end of the average monthly price of £15. When considering pricing, it's worth looking at your market competitors and how your value proposition compares to theirs. Prices typically vary by tier, with different access levels or products, such as an ad-free or all-access subscription that combines print and digital. Subscription length also varies, with usually a cheaper monthly rate for yearly commitments. Some best practices we've seen from publishers include testing different prices, offering 3 tiers or options to users, and using discounts and trials. You can find more information and case studies on launching a subscription business on the News Consumer Insight Tools Success Stories tab. If you're looking for more help getting started, Google's Reader Revenue Manager provides customizable solutions to deepen audience engagement and convert subscribers or contributors, all free of charge. At a high level, our Reader Revenue Manager can help you with the following. 1. Launch a reader revenue business without developer support or coding experience. 2. Gain subscribers and contributors with just 2 clicks. 3. Drive traffic and reinforce your brand value. 4. Connect with your audience securely. And 5. Eliminate paywall frustrations. That's it for today on launching a subscription model. But if you'd like to take yours to the next level, check out our other videos on promoting your subscription and estimating your reader revenue potential. Google also provides in-depth coaching for groups of news organizations through our labs. You can learn more and apply on our website g.co/news initiative. Thank you, and please send any questions or feedback at contactgni@google.com.